All right, another week around the charts by your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
Well, John, Adepticon is come and gone,
Yes.
A-
Adepticon is come and gone.
and say I'm a little disappointed in the reveals,
Really?
just a little bit.
I guess that's fair. The the 30K reveal was kind of lame. The old world reveal was
Kind of lame.
great, but not my cup of tea. And the other stuff. Actually, I like the 40K one just because we'll talk about it when we get there. But AOS was okay. Yeah, I think I kind of feel you on that one. Although the Star Wars announcements were like on fire.
We're peak.
They were pretty peak.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it, and I know because I watched it live.
Okay.
I watched it live with the boys because it was on a Wednesday, so game night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty disinterested, except for obviously one reveal, which
Fair.
is surprising given my Wednesday gaming group. But I'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I'd say we just dive right into the news that we got here. So obviously, the first thing we start with Sunday preview. We see what's on pre-order coming up for pre-order this week. It's gonna be a little bit of a spoiler here. So we got the Underworld Winter Mall. This is the new Underworld expansion that they're doing. This was revealed at Adepticon. So
I think it was, yeah. Well, I think it was the last big reveal. I remember these guys. Oh wait, no, these guys were revealed at Adepticon, right?
yeah, they were.
These. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was thinking about the other ones. Yeah.
Yep, nope, these are Adepticon. This was revealed at Adepticon. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? What are you looking at here?
It's the human ones are like weird and unique, which I like. I actually like these. The ghouls are. It's like the bat dude's pretty cool. The designs aren't something we've seen in the other ghouls, and the humans are way different from the other humans we've seen in AOS. So not a fan of the design specifically, but I'm glad that they're willing to do something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it's what I expect from Underworld slash Warcry. Is
Yeah.
unique models.
I kind of feel they're really pumping a lot of these models of Underworld's releases. I thought it would be more. I thought it had slowed down, but I guess not. It's going.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something you can just pump whatever you want, as long as you can make the card and have neat abilities for to keep it interesting, instead of pumping out the same Sigmarine unit over and over again. Just have the
True,
unique
true.
models out there, unique special abilities, and whatever the cards can do. Obviously, I have not played a single game since the release of Underworld, so I can't really tell you what's there to be in this game, but it's there. In terms of its reveal, we might as well just get it out of the way since this is here. It's kind of whatever. This was kind of meh to me. I agree with you. The humans are probably the best thing about this one here, but I was not excited, I would say, for to see these. I don't know what your thoughts are about it.
But sorry, can you specify
It's in terms of
the ghouls? You mean, or
the ghouls and the humans.
the ghouls are? I like the guy with the wings. The other ones are unique, but also kind of they belong in the ghoul unit. The humans are very out there in a good way. It's not my cup of tea, but I appreciate that they're out there in terms of design.
Yeah, but that is that. That is the new thing that's coming. Necromunda. We got the Rat King here.
Hmm.
We already gave our thoughts on this last week, but this is coming. We also got the Ashways Nomad Chieftain Venom Caster, which I don't recall ever seeing this model. This might have been when we were on break when this one got revealed. But this is a cool looking
No,
model.
I remember this. Remember we were talking about 40k Skaven not happening? It's the closest we'll get.
Wait, I'm talking about the chieftain is down here.
Oh, sorry, the chieftain. My bad. I think I lagged out a bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is a cool model. I kind of want it. For
Well, I mean, you have an Ashways gang.
yeah, I do. Dude, I have you seen Dune 2?
Yes.
Dude, I watched it again last night. Jeez, like the Ashways hype is slowly increasing. Of just like, ooh, desert nomads raiding convoys. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a very nice looking model. It can makes me wish I had Ashways, but yeah, I don't. Not gonna pick it up, even as cool as it is. After that, we got some Medusas and Basilisks for Legion Imperials. So there's that. It's still getting its thing. We also got some Land Raiders. Didn't you say there was no Land Raiders in the
Oh,
books?
sorry. There is now with the new book that just came out. There are land raiders. So, hooray! Only took them a couple months for land raiders to come in Epic, and drop pods.
Well, hey, it's here now. That's all that matters. That, the drop pods, the Solar Auxiliary Arvis Lighter. Talked about all these before. The Warhound Titans. Versus Claw and Metal Lances. I assume you can just get these out of the normal Titanicus box, is that correct?
Yes. These are the ones from the box. You can get them separately. The direwolves are more new.
Direwolves, okay. Direwolf Scouts, okay. Some more Titanicus, Horus Heresy, we got Endred Har. I believe this came out the week after we did our break, so we didn't really talk about this guy. He's like some loyalist world eater, if I remember from the lore. Is that correct?
He is a loyalist world eater, who it's kind of interesting. He, during the Great Crusade, the fleets were all over the place. There are lots of stories where the fleets, like a Legion fleet, will conglomerate with their Primarch or whatever. But even then, there's a lot of splinter fleets throughout the galaxy because a lot of worlds need to be conquered. So this dude, his fleet was so remote, like they were so far away from Angron's main fleet that he didn't get the Butchers and Hills. So when the heresy happened, he's like, "Oh, all right, I guess I'm a loyalist now." But because he's a world eater, not a lot of people trust him. So he ends up being a Black Shield and does his own thing, fighting the traitors. Though he eventually joins the Knights Errant, which is the precursor to the Grey Knights, to fight the traitors. He gets bodied by homeboy Abaddon, though. Spoiler alert.
As most people do.
As most people do.
Yeah, there's him. He's coming. Some stickers to put on your units, and then the Warhammer Plus battle report between the the Mandrakes and the.
It's not out yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So I'm assume it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
If we're getting a battle report, probably next week.
Yeah. Good point.
So that is that. Let's talk about this. So to celebrate the big event of Age of Sigmar, they're releasing 2 models. So we got a Cruel Boy, which is, a Cruel Boy. Well designed, but just an orc in my eyes. And we got the what is this thing? Knight Arcanum.
Knight Arcanum. Also, just a Stormcast in my eyes.
Just a Stormcast in my eyes. So they're releasing these models. I feel like they should have released these models when the edition came out, but
Yeah.
they want to celebrate the hype that is coming, that was revealed at Adepticon. So gotta capitalize on that market while it's hot. And then lastly, before we get to the Adepticon news, Heresy Thursday, we got Hibou Khan. Hibou Khan.
Yo, yeah, Hibou Khan. This is legit AF. This is one of my favorite White Scar characters. So are you familiar with the homie Hibou Khan?
I'm not familiar with homie Hibou Khan.
So Hibou Khan is one of the White Scars who. So actually, let's backtrack a bit. So in the book Scars, which is one of the best Horus Heresy books, and is the White Scars book for Horus Heresy. It's about a couple main characters, and one of them is this dude named Torgren Khan. So Torgren Khan is a Terran-born aspirant who we see him in his trials to become a Space Marine, and he gets sorting like Harry Potter sorting hatted into the White Scars, even though he really wants to be in the Sons of Horus. Kind of like Harry Potter in the first movie where he just says not Slytherin, and Torgren Khan's like Luna Wolves, Luna Wolves, Luna Wolves, and he gets sorted into the White Scars, and he's so mad. He's like, "Come on, like seriously, I want to be with the Luna Wolves." So, flash forward later during the Heresy. So when Horus turns traitor, some dudes like actually a lot of Terrans like Torgren Khan, Hibou Khan is one of them. They end up trying to commit a coup to turn the Legion over to Horus because the reports they hear are that the Thousand Sons were attacked by the Space Wolves without provocation, which kind of is what happened. That's not a lie, actually, but that's what they hear, and they're like, "Well, the Space Wolves are traitors. We gotta fight them." So they end up trying to join the traitors, but Jagatai Khan ends the coup, and they all surrender. So instead of executing them, a lot of them joined this White Scar tradition called the Magyar Mazan, which is also like a rite of war in 30k for White Scars, where it's a bunch of suicide squads who, because of their great shame, whatever it is, in this case, by turning traitor, they seeing the error of their ways, they become suicide squads to redeem themselves by dying in glorious combat. And Hibou Khan is one of these guys, and he doesn't die as far as we know. There's no death scene for him in the novels. The last we see of him is he's in some ship, but yeah, this guy is super cool. He has a giant, It's funny because the artwork of him that I remember, he has a katana, but here he has like a more traditional White Scars blade. And yeah, he's just a super cool character, and I love that he has a model. I just love the Magyar Mazan concept for White Scars, where it's just a bunch of suicide squads trying to redeem themselves in the eyes of their Primarch. And I believe one of the rules for that rite of war is none of your units give victory points, regardless of the mission played. So if the mission is a kill points mission, you just kind of auto win because you don't give any victory points for your dudes dying. But yeah, I'm happy. I might pick him up just to have, because gosh, this is a cool character.
I mean, it's a cool looking model.
Helmet is great. The face is interesting because of that skull face paint isn't the art that I'm thinking of where he's featured, but doesn't translate to the model very well, I think.
That's
But the
why he
helmet's
just has
great.
the helmet.
Yeah, that's why I have the helmet.
That's a cool looking model. I just, when I see White Scars, I just think it's wrong when they're not on a bike. Maybe that's my 40k.
I thought the same, but yeah, I think that's a 40k thing. And 30k, because there's hundreds of thousands of them. They have like armor formations, they have boarding action formations, they have all infantry formations, so it's a variety in 30k. But yeah, in 40k they're very specialized in terms of the bike thing. But in 30k again, where you have tens and hundreds of thousands of them, there's more variety in the formations.
Well, a very cool model. But it's time, John. It's time to get into Adepticon.
Adepticon.
For the Warhammer side. Now, I have the list here. I have the list brought up for the Eldar Discord predictions. And how well do you think that did?
I think it was pretty accurate, not like 100%, but over 50 from what I remember.
Yeah, it was pretty accurate. Trying to see if I can get a clearer picture here. This. Well, while I pull this up, you know what? Let's just look at the first thing here. So the first thing I have brought up is the Wastes of Necromunda. So all we got for this, pretty disappointing in my opinion, but it was predicted in the leaks. It was just going to be a trailer. That is all we got. Let me mute that and not blow everyone's ears out. So it's just a teaser trailer. Doesn't really tell us anything. I think the Eldar Discord said it was supposed to be Necromunda Secundus. I'm sure John knows what that wording means more than me.
Not exactly. Maybe it's, there's a succession crisis in Necromunda, so maybe it's like the second phase of this, or the aftermath of this war. I mean, the teaser video looks like Van Sar, that guy in the front pointing with his like Halo-looking rifle. That's the Van Sar pattern lasgun. So could be, if I was to take bets, that's a Van Sar thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it looks like we're going underground if we follow the video here. I don't know what underground means in Necromunda because, hive cities are such tall structures, but
could be what's it called? Underground, like instead of hive city, it's like caves. Maybe that'd be actually kind of cool. Exo Mortalis with rocks.
Maybe. But yeah, so that is that. That was the Necromunda. Again, just a trailer. The new models, I would assume, are the silhouettes, but I'm not familiar with the models to know for sure. But I would assume that they are the new models. Moving on, I have Kill Team, which looks like it was Votan Pioneers versus the Brood Brothers, which was accurate. Well, we'll just start off with the Votan here. Design-wise, I like them. I like how they look. The big freaking trench coats and everything. I enjoy the aesthetic.
Another perfect example of not my cup of tea, but executed very well.
Yeah, it's fine. Will I pick these up? No. No, I won't pick any of this up because I don't like Votan, as I've stated many times in the past. I still think Votan is a mistake to add it to 40k, but they want to add another army, so here we go. So design wise, I do enjoy them. Very well designed, very cool. The Brood Brothers, the Tyrannid infected guardsmen, pretty much.
Yeah, and these are specifically infected guardsmen. The kit is going to be an upgrade sprue for the new guardsman kit. Because if you remember before, with the old guardsman kit, they released a Gene Stealer Cults upgrade for that. So this is kind of the remaster of that concept, where they're using the new Imperial Guardsman kit as a base for some Gene Stealer Cult upgrades, which it's done really well, actually, I would say.
Yeah, I enjoy these. These look great. So in terms of the Kill Team design, I like it. It's very cool. I enjoy all of it. Enough for me to pick it up? No. Not enough for me to pick it up. But It is a very well designed box. I will give you that. So, Kill Team. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 7. You know, not something I was very excited for, but pleasantly surprised on the design. So we got that. The next one I have here, the Dwarfs of the Old World, which I'm pretty sure everyone saw coming.
Yep. Mainly because of the leak. So, two things I think made people see this coming. The first one is the leaked dice when the game came out, and then Orcs and Goblins being the first release. It's kind of people correctly guessed that
Dwarves
with
would
the
be
rival
next.
kind of system, Bretonnian versus Tomb Kings, we're gonna have Orcs and Goblins versus Dwarves. So
Yeah. So what do we get? We obviously get a box set,
yep,
battalion,
500 points.
as well as the dwarf book.
Yep, the Arcane Journal. Picking that up because I want them all.
They got themselves a new miniature, which I think was also predicted. Yes, Dwarf Thane with Shield Bearer.
Yeah, this was the teased one, the Dwarf Thane on Shield Bearer, and this looks way cooler than the old one. Resin, unfortunately.
Of course it is.
Wait, no, it's plastic. Did not know that. This is plastic. Wow. That's cool. Bravo, Games Workshop. I mean, I guess it makes sense. The Bretonian Pegasus is in plastic. I think we got the Tomb King Bone Dragon, so not surprised, but I guess with the orcs not getting one, a new plastic kit, this is very welcome.
It's nice to see. So we got that new model. We got
Dwarf Thane. This
Dwarf
is in
Thane.
resin.
But this is also new, right? It's way too
This
detailed.
is new, yes. It's way too detailed for an old model. It's new and in resin.
That. Some other Dane models there.
Yeah, another Thane with a handgun, which is new. Haven't really seen that model before. Usually we see engineers with a handgun.
And then a Slayer.
So that guy is actually interesting and kind of whack in a good way because that's Ungrim Iron Fist, if you remember that name, the Slayer King.
Okay.
So it's a resculpt of Ungrim. So wow, they're resculpting an old model because Ungrim had an old fantasy model, and this is a new version of that. Well, however, it's not the same kind of Ungrim because, well, it's the same Ungrim, but not the same Ungrim, because this is Ungrim from hundreds of years before the old other Ungrim. Because Old World takes place, I think, 300 years before Warhammer Fantasy, so Ungrim's kind of still on the younger side.
Mm-hmm.
And if you compare the two models, obviously this one's better designed, but they made an effort to make him look younger than the Warhammer Fantasy one.
Right.
Because he's 300 years younger here, and I think that's a great idea. I like that they're revisiting old characters that survived because they're an elder race. They live old. This makes me think that we might see Tyrion and Teclis getting new models, which would be sick because those guys are in Age of Sigmar, and seeing them again in Old World in updated form would be great.
Well, I mean, this was not predicted. No Thane model. Well, in this list that I read off last week, these were not predicted. Just the Thane on the shield, so that's nice to see. Some more plastic kits.
Yep, essentially all the old plastic dwarves coming back.
I'm trying to think. Weren't all the dwarves in plastic except for like their flying machine?
The flying machines are plastic as well, the gyrocopter and stuff. A lot of it was in. The Slayers were the ones where I think in metal.
The Slayers?
And resin. Yeah, the Slayers. The Slayer unit was resin. Or fine cast or whatever.
I only remember the Slayer from the Battle for Skull Pass.
Oh, the hero is plastic, but the unit, I believe, is resin.
No one ever ran it. The one dwarf player that I saw.
Yeah.
The Forge World resin kits. Getting some Banner Standard Bearer, some Champions, Slayer. Metal kits, the Anvil of... What's the Anvil of Doom?
The
Yes,
Anvil
the
of Doom.
Anvil of Doom. I remember this. Fighting this a lot. Anvil of Doom. It's also got the Grudge Thrower, Bolt Thrower, Flame Cannon. Also, I guess those were metal too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the old stuff is coming back. If Orcs and Goblins were an indication, we're gonna see a lot. First of all, we're gonna see all the plastic kits come back, and then we're gonna see a lot of the old metal kits coming back.
Of course. Staple of the armies. More Slayers here. Made to order. We got an old collection of minis. Guess these were like the OG dwarves here, which is just weird to see. But yeah, that is that. So dwarves are the next unit to go to Old World, which now leaves what? High elves, wood elves, and Empire. Are those the last 3 armies?
So it's Wood Elves, Empire, Warriors of Chaos, and Beasts of Chaos. Oh, there's one more. There's
no High Elves? I thought High Elves.
Yeah, High Elves, Wood Elves, Beasts of Chaos, Warriors of Chaos, and Empire. There's one more good army than a bad army.
Oh.
My prediction is we're gonna see High Elves and Warriors of Chaos as the rival pair, and then Beastmen and Wood Elves as the rival pair, and I think Empire will be its own launch with a lot of new stuff like Magnus the Pious is a big deal. So for lore context, the old world is set before the Great War against Chaos. So at the time the Empire is kind of fractured. There's a lot of people claiming to be emperor, a lot of civil wars going on here and there. And at the end of the old world era, there's a massive chaos invasion, the largest at the time before Archaon comes in, and the Empire unites under this dude named Magnus the Pious, and he beats back the invasion and reunites the Empire, and that's where we get the Empire of Warhammer Fantasy that's united. So I can imagine the Empire getting a lot of stuff when that comes out, which they kind of need, because I'll be honest, the Empire is kind of trash right now in Fantasy. They we had that conversation last time of cannons being nerfed to hell against monsters, and yeah, a lot of the units just are very points inefficient. Not just like not good, but like actually bad, because it's way too expensive for what they do. So hopefully they get the buff there.
You think? Because I remember this was a long time ago that they mentioned. You're gonna have to help me on the name here. Cathay and
Kislev.
Kislev.
Yes.
I remember them mentioning it in, that they were going to be in Old World, but when they released the armies, they weren't named.
They backtracked saying they have no plans for them. However, that doesn't mean they're not happening. Old World is doing way better than. I mean, Games Workshop has said the Old World is doing way better than they thought it would. So I can imagine them putting stuff with Cathay and what's it called and Kislev.
Well, I guess we'll have to just wait and see. But that was Old World. I didn't really care too much for it because dwarves. I mean, I have a lot of good memories fighting dwarves because that's what my friend played, was dwarves against my Tomb Kings. It was his gun line against my bow and arrow gun line. So there's no combat going on in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was whoever can gun down someone first. But yeah, so dwarves are coming. Next on the list, Horus Heresy. I think it was just a teaser. Yes. Go ahead. Let's mute this really fast. You want to go ahead and talk about it, John?
I hope it's not just knights. I hope it's actually Plastic Mechanicum. That would be great. But if the rumor is right, it's only Plastic Knights. So that would be. Yeah. Alright. Now, I wish they'd just just give us more plastic marines, guys. Like, there's already the Solar Aux tangent. I mean, just give us the Breachers, give us the Command Squad, give us the Despoilers. Then you could do Mechanicum and whatnot. But
Yeah, the leak was that it was going to be Mechanicus Knights, so I mean, honestly, this could be whatever. Obviously, Adeptus Mechanicus is something, but it's kind of just whatever. I don't really have any input on it. I wasn't, since I'm not big into 30k, I wasn't really too hyped for this one either, but for John and all the other 30k community, you can speculate on what you want or what it could be. But yeah, that was that. Just a trailer, no models shown at all. So a little disappointing there.
yeah. But I mean, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new book coming out, so.
Moving on, the next thing. AoS, we got the final chapter of the Dawn Bringer series.
This is actually. Oh, sorry. I forgot about this. Is super cool. The chaos stuff is like 10 out of 10.
Look at all that gold trim. I know John likes gold trim.
Oh gosh, yes, and love it with my gold trim. Not really. If this thing had wings, I would instantly buy it as a Chaos Dragon. I know I have one already, but I would instantly buy this as a Chaos Dragon for Ultra. But it doesn't, so I actually don't have to get it. It's way too big to be a Lord on Demonic Mount, which we already have anyway. So it's great though. It's a cool model.
It's a cool. What is this? An endless spell?
He has the endless spell.
The endless spell is nice looking.
Or is it terrain or endless spell? I think it's terrain.
Is it terrain? Either way, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, it looks dope.
It looks nice. The model itself looks good. I like the model.
It's also I could see this in 40k on a 40k table, just like as a chaos thing, you know?
Yeah, you can make it like a what's the thing called? The Disco Lord?
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
I only ever hear it called the Disco Lord, so I don't really remember its like actual
Lord
name.
Discorded?
Yeah, there you go. You make one of those, even though it doesn't make any sense him riding it like a flesh beast, but I'm sure you can work something out there.
Yeah.
So very cool, very good job. Obviously, makes sense that the Dawnbringer series is finally coming to an end, and they did a really good job with this model. Good job. 8 out of 10. Moving on. I mean, we kind of just briefly talked about this, but yes, here is the Underworld's Winter Maw. We're not going to talk any more about it. We already did it. So, moving on. Warcry. Oh, wait, hold on. Just for 1 second there. Underworld was completely wrong. From the Eldar, they gotta get their Farseer's head on better here, because it said Nurgle Demons versus Nighthaunt Alchemists. I don't know what that is, but yeah, that wasn't a thing. That did not happen here. Warcry. What is this? Chronothi? War Dancers versus Bone Reaper monsters. Well, they got one thing right. You got the Bone Reaper monsters here, so let's go ahead and talk about our Bone Reaper friends here. Finally, something different.
Yeah, but it is different, which is cool, but I kind of don't want it. Like, I want more, like, infantry. I just want more. I want, like, archers. Well, I guess it's a Warcry, so I guess it's. If they want to do something weird and wacky, this is the place for it. But, I got Bone Reapers when they came out in 2019, late 2019, and I'm still waiting for archers.
Yeah, so we got some Centaur Bone Reaper here. We got some Bone Reaper dogs. And got some Bone Reaper vultures. I don't know what the heck these things are supposed to be. And it looks like we got 2 standard troop unit here. I mean, design-wise, I like the design. I think everything looks really cool. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not too hype on this. I wouldn't pick this up, in my opinion. I kind of like the original stuff that they make for the game. And I know that this is technically original, but I mean like the chaos bands. Those are the kind of stuff that I like.
That's not just different factions kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but just not for me. And then on the other hand here, we got Sylvaneth. Got some wizard here with a big cherry blossom on the back there. Beehives. Standard unit here. Some guy with a giant vine whip. Or unit, classic units, and it looks like a unit of dryads. Some new dryads here. Not too impressive, in my opinion.
I do like that we finally have seen HD dryads since like 2017 when Sylvaneth came out.
Finally some new dryad models. I would agree.
Models, yeah.
Those are nice looking, but
yeah, but the rest are just cool. They're spider evidence. I mean, it's neat. There's the guy with the whip. There's the chick with the sword. Well, I guess they all have swords, so not really unique. There's the dude with the shield and spear. That's cool. But
yeah.
I really like the dryads.
The dryads are the best of the Sylvaneth. Yeah, not what I really want. So I would have to give this one a 6. Not for me. Not for me.
Nah, dude, it's a 9 because of the terrain piece. Have you seen the terrain piece?
I was gonna try to avoid the terrain piece, but now that you brought it up, you know what? You're right. How could I be so foolish?
This is amazing. It's like a walking tree. Oh man, that's amazing. Like, why is this not a unit? This should be a unit.
We'll make it a 7.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Acceptable.
The tree monster brings it up 1 point.
Yeah.
Then lastly, 40k, which to no one's surprise was indeed the Chaos Lord, but not the Chaos Lord in Terminator armor. So that one was wrong.
That's okay. This guy is so fucking cool. I want him now. I want to paint him. You know, I also because I played Black Crusade with Will, if you know, long time listeners remember, and some other of our friends. But I made a character, and he was a Black Legion aspiring champion with a power axe and a plasma pistol, and this guy looks like him. It's like a Chaos Lord version of him. So, it's my character becoming a Chaos Lord, right? And this is so actually for context, Black Crusade is the old FFG RPG where you play as a Chaos Space Marine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my character looks like this guy, which makes him even cooler to me. You're instantly buying this, and not to mention he has bits. You could give him, instead of a power axe, and give him a thunder hammer or a power maul. Instead of a power fist, and give him a plasma pistol. Like, this is great. I love it. I love it a lot.
Yeah, that's nice. But I think what a lot more people were happy about was finally a jump pack version.
Yeah, that's fair. He exists.
He exists, and
not legend.
And he looks goofy as hell.
He does look goofy as hell. I agree.
I mean, I don't know why this one, the one with the plasma and the power axe, looks so goofy. Because the one with the claw looks just fine, in my opinion.
Maybe it's the angle. Maybe if you view a 3D version of the model, it looks way better. But no, I do like the other one more.
But yeah, so that is finally coming. So that was cool. Obviously, they're getting their Chaos book. They're getting their Battle Force Veteran of the Long War, which is Chaos Lord, some Terminators, Some champion possessed.
So cool. Gosh, that's such a cool box.
The
Too
10.
bad I have all of these.
Yeah. It was like very confusing watching this live because like they kept just going over like the old units and it's like is this why are they doing this? Why do they keep going over the old units? So here's the second battle one, the Dread Talons, which has the Raptors, the Cultists, like Demon Prince, and the Jump Pack character. Uh, it's. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected too much from the reveal here. I was kind of hoping we'd get a little more updated units, but aka the Raptors. I was hoping the Raptors would be updated a little bit, especially with the Jump Pack Lord that we're getting now, but maybe in the future they will be updated to look a little bit better. But that is that. That was 100% right on the prediction there. Chaos Lord and Battle Boxes. And then, of course, Adepticon ended with its final reveal, the Warhammer reveal, and that was the new edition cinematic trailer. The 4th edition is coming. Are you hyped for it, John? Are you hyped for some rats?
Not really. I mean, I think it's great, and you know, I have an AOS army that I've been perpetually working on, which is the Sigmar. But yeah, this trailer is. I mean, mainly because the rumors have been so old that Skaven are happening, that this didn't really surprise me. It's like, hey, great, and you know, Stormcast. I like Stormcast, but there's only so much you can do. It seems with Stormcast design, and the new Stormcast in here don't really look like new Stormcast compared to like second edition. I think it was it second edition. Yeah, second edition where the Night Haunt came out with the other Stormcast. Remember that with the robes and stuff. Like that was super cool because it was very different. Initially, we just had these, you know, naked armored power. You know, it's not power armor, but naked armored golden dudes, and now we got the golden dudes with robes, which is super new. And also they had female Stormcast in mass, which was great. It was a new concept at the time. But
3rd edition introduced the skinny Marines.
yeah, and third edition introduced like the slimmer Stormcast, which not as exciting but still different. And now with I guess the trailer doesn't really show anything new. Well, it doesn't show too much, just some new stuff. But that said, yeah, it doesn't really excite me in the way that it used to.
Which is a Stormcast girl getting killed over and over again.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool lore thing where like finally the Reforgings is getting to them, but yeah, the trailer was neat, and it was cute. That's all I'll say.
But yeah, so that was coming out. Let me just take a look at the rumor here. So for AOS, they had Abraxia, Lady of Ruin. I don't recall that ever showing up. And Ascended Cool, which again, don't think I ever saw that coming up, unless that was that guy on the monster. But so it looks like the AOS was completely wrong, other than the trailer for 4th edition. So this is why you gotta take all rumors with a grain of salt.
Yes.
But yeah, so obviously it's been almost a week since this reveal trailer, so I just want to highlight some of the articles that have come out. Obviously we got the new edition coming out. Goes over the story so far. Obviously rats are invading Metal City. Can't remember the name of that Metal City right now, but they're coming. The game, it's introducing Spearhead, which is pretty much what 40k has with their combat patrols. Buy a Spearhead box. Play the Spearhead box. Quick and easy. Easy pick up and play is what they're going with now for those boxes. All the books are gonna be what's the word? Useless? Out of print? I don't know. Either way, you're gonna be able to play your new army in the new edition with the free online index that they're gonna be providing, which, you know, applaud GW. They are so far keeping their word of making it easy. No longer have to buy an index to play the game, so that's nice. And then I think the video they had, like, they go over how it's gonna be a little more dynamic, being able to do stuff in your opponent's turn. It's been so long since I played AoS. Literally,
Same.
When 3rd edition came out, I played a handful of games, and that was about it. So maybe I'll do the same exact thing when 4th edition comes out. I'll play a couple of games and then retire from it again. But that is that. And then this was what's changing in edition. This article doesn't mean too much. And then to celebrate the new edition, it looks like 16th and 19th of May. There'll be some tournaments going on there in Texas and in Warhammer World Nottingham, the 18th and 19th of May. So looks like it's gonna be a whole week there of the AoS showing off their the new system. So we'll get more information by that time. But that is that. In terms of Warhammer, what would you say, John? What would you rate it overall? Just the Warhammer.
6 or 7.
6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I think if they had given us like one more trailer of nothing happening, aka 30k and Necromunda, it'd probably be a little bit lower. But yeah, I would agree with you. 6 and 7 is a fair assessment.
Yeah, and honestly, like, let's say if your default is 9, I would subtract a point for like nothing trailer, which is 30k and Necromunda. Like, come on, guys. Like, really? That's it? Anyways.
Well,
yeah,
you mean, I mean, you also gotta. I mean, the new edition is nice. It's a nice teaser trailer, but that also didn't show us anything. Like, I think we saw one new model, I think, and going by what Travis told me, someone had leaked the sprue. It's that rat cannon thing. Someone had leaked the sprue out, and then someone
got it.
Someone had photoshopped it all together to make the model. I think that was the only thing that we saw that was like new. But yeah, there's like no new unit or anything to look at. Obviously, we probably got a new character with the girl who keeps dying all the time, but it's kind of whatever, to be honest.
I see.
So it was a big nothing burger, in my opinion, which was sad. But you know, I guess they're saving it all for when's Warhammer Day?
June. June?
I'm sure they're saving their big announcements for June.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that was not the only thing. As John alluded to earlier in the the recording, there was Star Wars Legion. So am I starting with the article or am I starting with the pictures first?
Let's do the article. The pictures are for Shatter Point, actually, which is So Shatter Point also had some announcements, but I'm just gonna highlight the, I think, super cool ones.
All right,
But
so here we go.
so Legion. So this is, speaking of, I'm just gonna rate this now. This is like a 9 out of 10 reveal session because this is great. And also, this is what happens when you only reveal things like twice a year, because then the reveals are exciting.
True.
So, yeah. All right. Tell us what we're looking at, man, and I'll explain it because you got this the scroll.
So ranged troopers.
Yeah. So range troopers are a new Empire support infantry unit, which we have not seen before. So
What is
they're
a
in the same
support
slot as.
infantry?
So support is the force org chart that speeder bikes and e-webs occupy.
Okay.
So there's the first infantry unit that's in that slot. So the big thing with range troopers is all their guns are minimum range 4. Well, maximum range. Well, okay, all their guns are range 4 except for one of their heavies, which is range 5, but they're mostly range 4. So this is a range 4 unit with suppressive in their in the weapon. I can imagine people would equip the 2 black 2 white suppressive weapon
The T20
instead of the 2 red one because yeah, just because throwing suppression at range 4 is pretty ridiculous. So that's the big thing that stands out from them. They also have armor 1, kind of like B2 battle droids, so they block 1 hit automatically when you're attacking them. So in heavy cover, they block 3 hits, which is pretty huge. They have Indomitable, which I think is a suppression mitigation thing. They have Scale, so they can climb up better, and they have Spur, so they can take a suppression to increase their speed by 1, because they're currently speed 1. However, yeah, they're speed 1, but the range 4 kind of makes up for that. They also have a new rule called Advanced Targeting Trooper 1. So it's a big block of text, but essentially what it means is that if they attack a trooper unit with all of their weapons, so you're not split firing, you get a free aim token. So that's pretty nuts because for the most part, at Legion, you don't split fire anyway. So this is a pretty solid unit. They're not that expensive. Base 60 points. The heavy is 20 points. It's an 80-point unit that throws, well, like 6 dice, 6 black dice, 2 white dice, and range 4 with an aim. Now, they don't have a surge token or surge to hit, which makes them not as accurate as like stormtroopers. But stormtroopers don't have surge to hit; they just have critical 1. But with some surge token generation, that could really help. So I'm excited for this unit. It's a unique kind of piece in Empire.
Well,
it's they're slow, but they're range 4, which is kind of cool.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a must buy in my army because there's snow. They
Yes,
look like they're
also
in the snow, so
Yep.
they gotta be with my snow troopers.
Perfect. There we go. Covering fire for your snow troopers while they plot up the front. Perfect.
So this is a must buy in my army.
Mm-hmm.
So, John's the expert on this. I'll just give my normie opinion on this. Yeah, this looks cool. I like this. I like the way it looks. And when I ever do another Legion game, I'll be happy to use these models.
Yeah, no, I really like them, and even for me, like I would take these guys to a tournament with a list. Just again, that being range 4 for a unit is huge, and I like how they have interesting rules like spur and armor 1 that help with that, help balance that out. So I think 10 out of 10 for this one.
10 out of 10.
Are they actually going to be good? I don't know, but in theory they look interesting and fun to play. So I'll give them that. I'll give them a 10 for that.
At this point, I mean, I don't know about the other armies, but it seems like Legion can now, or not Legion, Empire can now have infantry in every slot. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. And Republic with the next unit, but yeah, currently Empire can have infantry in every slot.
Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at the next unit. Oh, these were the cards you were looking at. Let me scroll through all this text. Alright, next unit. I got the Republic Commandos.
Yeah, Republic Commando. And also big thanks to Fifth Trooper for this preview article we're getting the pictures from, so we don't have to like Google them. Yeah, we got the Republic Clone Commandos. So these guys are the stars of the Republic Commando game. And they're in Legion now. So they have this equipment called Katarn Pattern Armor. This is kind of busted. So what it is when you suffer a wound from an attack, right? Or when a unit would be assigned more than 1 wound from an attack. Let's say you get hit by 12 hits and you roll 12 blanks, right? You take 12 wounds, you're a dead unit. Well, you could use this, it's once per game. You use this armor, you only take 1 wound, and you only take 1 wound. That's pretty ridiculous. And it's free. So there's that. They have the complete the mission rule. So during deployment, you place a token in the battlefield. If you're within range 1 of that token, you get surge defense, so you have power armor, 3-up save. And if an enemy is within range 1 of that token and you attack them, you get critical 2. So 2 of your surges turn into crits. They have infiltrate, so they can deploy anywhere or outside range 3 of opponents. They have shield 1 and recharge 1, which is kind of cool because if you played Republic Commando, their shields, the Halo style shields in that game. So you got that, and then you got target 1, which gives them a free aim if they get an order. And they have the vibro blades from the video game as well, so 2 black dice per model in melee, and they have their blaster combines, which are range 2, black white suppressive, courage 2, speed 2. And the range 2 in their gun is short, but they get to infiltrate, so that mitigates that a bit. However, we did not see previews of their heavy weapon equips, which we'll see in a future date. But in the video game, to compare once again, you're able to equip a grenade launcher or a sniper rifle to the unit. So yeah, that's the Republic Clone Commandos, and they're also a support slot, like the range troopers. These are also, I think, a 10 out of 10. It's just because of the design, like the complete the mission rule is so interesting, where you place that anywhere during setup, and then you get bonuses, which is very like special forces thing, where they have a very specific task they want to do, and the rule represents that. So they seem pretty good as well. 75 points base, and probably like another 25 for heavy weapons, like 100 points. That's pretty reasonable for what they can do, and I really give them a 10 because of it's just a unique unit in Legion.
It's all very cool looking.
Yeah.
And especially pulling from the video game lore, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Then none of the video games were canon.
I think the storylines may not, but they're bringing back some elements. Like I think Delta Squad is canon. Now, did what they did in the video game, is that canon? I don't know, maybe not. But them as a unit exists in current Star Wars lore. Speaking of Delta Squad, you can actually run this unit as Delta Squad, which is the unit in Republic Commando. There's going to be an extra card included in the box, so lets you run the unit as Delta Squad.
I see. Well, see that in May, so 2 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, we got the Bad Batch.
We got the Bad Batch from the TV show. So they have a lot of rules here. I'm not going to go over them, but essentially it's a 160-point unit, and you can equip all the Bad Batch members into them for free. And all the Bad Batch members have specific rules. So to highlight some, which are the ones that revealed, Hunter, which is the leader, he has a free action where you just choose a commander or operative unit at range 1 in the line of sight, and you roll a dice on a hit or crit. He takes a wound, no save. So kind of like a force choke. Then you got Crosshair, so when he attacks by himself, he gets critical 1. Otherwise, he has high velocity, pierce 1, precise 1 with 1 red dice. That's a lot of damage you can do, especially because the unit already has sharpshooter 1. And interestingly, a big rule that they have is the rule we're not regs. So because the Bad Batch are kind of like mutated clones where their genetics were kind of tampered with, they give them specific traits. They don't get to share tokens with clone trooper units, and they don't get to participate in fire supports. Or they can't be fire supported with their clone units.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so far, like Echo does a lot of damage. Hunter is pretty cool with his rule. Depending on what the other units do, that's really gonna define what the squad does. So far, so good. We don't see too much of the unit yet, but from what we see so far, they seem pretty fun. You can also attach Omega, which is the new character from the Bad Batch show. If you decide to use them as rebels, I should mention that the unit I was just talking about is a Republic unit. However, you could also include them as a mercenary unit for a Rebel Alliance army, because in the show they kind of, they turn renegade and don't join the Empire. and they kind of go on their own adventures. They don't join the Rebel Alliance, but they do encounter some characters that they help fight the Empire. So they're going to be a mercenary unit for the Rebels. If you and then also that's you include Omega, which is the clone with the bow and arrow.
Interesting. I don't know anything about the Bad Batch, so.
Me neither. I just see them in trailers and all that, and they're pretty cool.
All right, so that's coming out in July.
Yep.
A little further down the line here. Let's go cards. The sleeper cell unit.
We have this Rebel sleeper cell unit, which is inspired by the Rebels in Andor and other shows where they kind of infiltrate, you know, Imperial territory and kind of cause havoc. So we see like a droid attachment and a heavy weapon, like a T-21 style heavy weapon there. So I'm gonna assume these guys are gonna have infiltrate. Maybe they'll have something like Chewbacca in the ATST where you can't shoot them until they shoot you first because they're hiding or something. So no rules for them yet, but they are coming in
later in the year.
Yeah, later in the year. So,
along
something for Rebel players.
Along with the Riot Control Squad here.
All right, this is super sick. I really like this unit. So these are stormtroopers with shock batons and boarding shields. And it looks like you can also attach some security droids, K2SO style droids before he gets reprogrammed. And you can also add a sniper rifle attachment. Yeah, this is dope. I don't know about you, man. You play Empire. What do you think about this?
Hey, anything to bolster the good guys is always a good thing for me. So, I mean it's different. I don't really see. I mean, because this is my logic, right? If the stormtrooper armor doesn't even protect you from a blaster, like, what good's that shield gonna do for you? Obviously, it's good if you can get into close combat.
Right.
But I don't see that shield putting any more protection on me here. So it's cool. But knowing my lore of the Star Wars universe, is that really gonna do anything?
We'll see. Maybe the shields have like deflector shields or something. Who knows?
So maybe. But yeah, it looks good. I like it. I don't know if it would be an auto include. Now see if it was snow themed.
There you go.
It'd be an auto include, but desert, it's a maybe. It's a maybe. Now this other thing that I see, if I played this army, crab droids, I definitely put some crab droids in.
Oh, these are great. Freaking crab droids, man. Like they're like 5 seconds of Revenge of the Sith, and I guess they're in the Clone Wars show too at some point. But yeah, they're just so wacky and cool, and I'm glad they exist. I'm glad they're getting into the game. I hope they're good.
They were in the show.
There we go.
The movie.
I was thinking of the movie. Yeah.
I guess
they were there for like probably like 3 seconds even.
Guess it's been a long time since I've seen the movies because I don't remember these things at all.
There's literally 3 seconds in the Utapau scene, Revenge of the Sith. There's a clone that jumps on one and shoots it, and that's it.
Oh. Well, I guess that explains that. But yeah, so crab droids, I would assume is a must buy for any droid player out there. But that is coming Q4 as well. Looks like they give you some production information here. Next up we got some terrain.
Cool terrain. Moving on.
All terrain. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool terrain. Moving on. Great.
Aqua droids.
Nice. Aqua droids. Yeah. And on land though, because Legion games take place on land. But yes, we got some aqua droids.
That's coming first quarter of 2025. ARF troopers.
So actually, cool. Let me talk about aqua droids really quick. So this is a trooper unit with a notched base, which is the first time I've seen that. You know how like speeder bikes have that like notch on their base, and like ATSTs.
Yes.
This is the first time we're seeing a trooper unit, because traditionally trooper units have 360 line of sight, but these don't. it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna play out. And this is probably gonna be the third core choice for droids because Empire and Rebels have 3 core choices. Empire have storms, shores, and snows. Clones and droids only have 2. Like for clones, you only have phase 1s and phase 2s. So this will be the speculated third core choice for droids, and I like that it's a 4-man squad of notch-based troopers. So that's pretty cool and unique.
All right then. But moving on, we got the ARF troopers.
We got the ARF troopers, which are kind of like scout clones with the long rifles. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be like a white dice range 4 rifle. They're probably gonna have like white saves because they have scout trooper armor.
Oh, so these are clones.
Yeah, these are clones. Yeah, these are clones.
Okay.
But looks like they have a bazooka heavy weapon and probably another heavy weapon that maybe the guy next to him, like a heavy DC-15 or something. But yeah, maybe it's like a range 4 white dice with critical 1 or something. That'd be kind of cool. With scout or something. Either way, it's again a third core choice for clones, and if it's another range 4 unit, that's going to be another cool, unique design space. So this is super cool.
So moving on, we got generic Jedi.
Yeah, we have Jedi attachment, which are Jedi that you could attach to either ARF troopers or ARC troopers, which they confirmed on the stream. Legion players have been asking for generic Jedi for the longest time, and it'll be finally we get to see some, basic nameless Jedi in the game.
But only
Hopefully,
for.
but yeah, they're only attachments. You can only attach them to ARF troopers or ARC troopers. But if ARF troopers are really core, like we're speculating, that'd be interesting. You could get 6 of these guys on your troop slots, and in combination with your ARC trooper special forces slots.
Mm-hmm. So that is coming. You think there are a lot of people who are just gonna make their own Jedi?
I could imagine so because people already make their own Anakin and Obi-Wan. I can imagine more people are gonna make their regular basic Jedi, especially if you buy a box, you got the cards, and you want to add more of the units. You just make some more.
I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Someone's
be
gonna
surprised.
3D print their OC.
Yeah,
Throw them on the table. So that's coming. Resculpt hints. So Obi-Wan from Clone Wars gonna get
yep.
resculpt.
Hard plastic Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but I'm not too excited for this one. I'm more excited for the next one here. Mr. Grievous. Now this is a model that I'm excited for.
Yeah, plastic Grievous. Even though we already have a hard plastic Grievous, they're gonna remake him.
I don't care. He looks good.
And this makes me really think that we're gonna see a second edition because, as we know, they're resculpting Storms, Stormtroopers, Rebel Troopers, Luke, Leia, and some other units. I can imagine they're gonna be in the new core set because otherwise, why would people buy them? They already have Snowtroopers and Stormtroopers and Rebel Troopers. But a new core set, probably an excuse for people to buy all of this.
Probably. And then that's just a release schedule. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything important on this release schedule. Yeah, no. That's everything we've already gone over. So yeah, pretty big for Legion there.
Yeah, lots of announcements.
I was
Which
definitely
I'm
more
super
excited for that than what I saw in the 40K.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what you said is true, The fact that it gets less announcements does make it a little more hype.
Yeah, less announcements, less releases, which makes the game feel stale at times. But when the releases do happen, they're pretty epic and hype.
Well, I think it's time to move on to the next thing here. So I'm just gonna go in order of the pictures that you have here.
Yeah, so Shatter Point also had a bunch of reveals, but these are the ones I want to highlight. I don't want to go through all of them. So, what's the first one? Just so we're talking same page.
The one with Boba Fett on it.
The Bounty Hunter one. with like
Yeah,
Bosk and stuff.
this is the way squad pack.
Oh yeah, this is the way. So the Mandalorian squad pack. So we're gonna see characters from the Mandalorian TV show. And Apollo, I know you're gonna be excited for this. We're gonna see the Armorer and Paz Vizsla, plus some generic Mandalorians finally coming to Shatter Point. So this is great. People have been asking for a full Mandalorian squad in Shatter Point, and this is it.
This
Now
is
we
the
just need
time.
another Mandalorian leader, and you can have a full Mandalorian squad if you use the other Mandalorians from the core set.
Yeah, but this isn't coming out till
Yeah,
way
Q4.
later.
Yeah, next year. Or
Well,
sorry,
end
Q4
of
of
the
this year.
year.
Excuse me, end of the year. Yep.
Alright, moving on. We don't need their scum unit pack.
Yeah, these are so. This is Dengar, Bosk, IG-88, and Boba Fett, and oh my gosh, these are the coolest iterations of these guys I've ever seen. Like Bosk looks like a beast in this one, and Boba Fett, favorite character, second favorite Star Wars character, right? He's always cool, but they really did him justice with this sculpt. And interestingly, though, for the game, this isn't a squad for Shadow Point. These are just individual units you can add to your squads because they're bounty hunters. But man, yeah, I insta buy for me. The sculpts, I can imagine having such a fun time painting these.
So you say you can put them in your squad. So is this like you can put them in any squad?
Unclear, maybe just Galactic Civil. Maybe not. They're both in Civil War and Clone War. So yeah, maybe you could just include them in anything.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but remember in Shatterpoint, right? So Shatterpoint armies are composed of two squads. So a squad has a primary, which is the leader, a secondary, which is like a lieutenant, and then support, which are like either usually it's two generic units. So for example, you can have Darth Vader as your primary, and you could have a stormtrooper captain as your secondary, and you could have two regular stormtroopers as your support. However, you could when you're building that squad, there's no faction, so you could have Darth Vader as your primary. You could have what's it called, Chewbacca as your secondary, and then you could have like Ewoks as your support.
So you're not
As
restricted by faction or time.
No, you are restricted by time, not faction. So you can't have battle droids as your support if Vader's your primary.
Okay.
But you can have Obi-Wan supported by Jango Fett, and then some Mandalorians. That's possible because they're from the Clone Wars era.
Got
So
it.
bounty hunters are designed. So, however, there's synergy, right? So if you have Obi-Wan and then battle droids, they don't really support each other in terms of rules. Like Obi-Wan probably has rules that support Galactic Republic units, and battle droids require like a separatist leader to get buffs or something. So there's still kind of that limitation when you're building squads. But the idea with bounty hunters is they can slot in anywhere and do well, kind of thing.
Got it. Okay. And then the last one.
We got your snowtroopers, Matt.
There they are. Guess I'm going to
General
Shatter
Veers
Point.
and Fence. Yes, General Veers and some snowtroopers. There you go.
It looks like they just literally took the Legion models and
Just scaled them up.
just scaled them up.
Yeah, it works out. So yeah, so these are some cool, and there's way more if you guys want to check out. Just look up Shatter Point Adepticon. See all the reveals. Like if you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels, the whole Ghost Crew is available as two squads. You can have them as your army. You got Lando and friends. You got Han Solo, Iden Versio, Chewbacca, and all that. Yeah, Shadow Point, came out June of last year, and I think now we're in a spot where it's getting more and more variety in terms of models and missions. We're gonna get a third mission pack in June, which is exciting because we have two right now, which is it's good, but it's not enough. I think a third one would be great. But yeah, I think Shadow Point is as time moves on, it's getting in a better spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's usually how it goes. As long as it gets the support and the player base behind it, it'll get better over time, hopefully.
Yep.
Not all the time, but hopefully. Alright. So that's all the information that you gave me. Anything else you want to quickly talk over before we rant?
I think that is it.
Alright then. Well, I'll start off. Why not? It's been a while since I've started off.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some 40k.
Nice.
I give my Dark Eldar another chance. I went against Bill's Space Marines. I'm gonna have to give my Dark Eldar another chance. I didn't lose or anything, but he was definitely down like 300 points or something because he decided to bring the bunker.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Decided to bring the bunker into the game, so it was kind of wasted, especially with the terrain layout that we played with. Because I like, I think GW did a really good job with the terrain placement that they have. But yeah, it definitely screws over your own terrain placement, which I see why no one takes any terrain in placement, because he had like, yeah, that thing was blocked by everything. Not a single. It had
Oof.
like one fire lane, and that was it. And it wasn't even that good of a fire lane. So I'll have to give my Dark Eldar another chance to go against something, because he that thing was just useless for him, unfortunately. But I did that. I got some painting done, just some Shadows of Brimstone stuff. Kind of just going through there because it's a little easier to paint, a lot less time consuming compared to the Warhammer models. But yeah, just getting that done. Unfortunately, something has happened. Something happened with Paulo, so no gaming this week. But hopefully next week we'll be able to continue our gaming escapades. But other than that, I've been doing good. Well,
Nice. That's good. That's good.
what about you? What have you been up to?
Just more hobbying, not really a lot of mini gaming this week. I played Magic last week, so it was the extent of my gaming, but mostly just doing some, what's it called? Some basing for my Warriors of Chaos. I'm trying to get some Chosen and Chaos Warriors done soon, so I can paint some Sons of Horus on the side to break the monotony up and paint a different color of armored unit, armored armored dude. But
I
yeah, just trying
gotta
to work on that.
I gotta ask. I mean, what is the painting schedule now? Because I feel like you bounce around so much. I've lost
Oh,
track.
absolutely. So right now, my main focus is my Warriors of Chaos army for Old World, and I also want to paint some Sons of Horus for Horus Heresy, with the new campaign books coming out and all that. It's the hype is getting back, and I finished ended of part three, which is hyping me up for Sons of Horus. Abaddon's the man, and yeah, I wanna work on some of those. Because I got the Age of Darkness box set, not the Age of Darkness, the support Legion support group of the Mark III and all that. So I do want to build and paint those as Sons of Horus, and I also got some Mark VI I won from a league, which I'm gonna also turn into some Sons of Horus, probably a Seeker squad and all that. But yeah,
How
that's the plan.
has the AOS hype died down until 4th edition?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
The poor Empire just sitting there now.
Yeah, they're there in their boxes. I mean, the dudes are painted, just the horses need some painting.
I see. I see. I don't. I wish I had your resolve
Yeah.
to be able to do that, but I waver on my painting. I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to paint right now. I'd rather
That's fair. That's
play
fair.
some video games. But I gotta I gotta start doing better. But I gotta start doing my daily painting and posting my end of the week progress again. That'll motivate me to do it.
You definitely need to do that more too.
But man, is there anything on the horizon? I think everything right now is just gonna be AOS build up or at least the Warhammer side, with the occasional 40k release. I mean, we're still waiting for Custodians, Orcs, and
Yeah.
then Chaos. I think, yeah, I think that's all we're waiting for now. So I assume in April we'll be getting the Orcs and Custodians. That should be released by then. Then maybe end of April we'll get Chaos. That's about it on the 40k front. Because the next thing, June, right? Is when you said Warhammer World is?
Mhm.
So that's probably when we'll get the next big 40k announcement. I don't expect any big AoS news other than the first tome that's going to be released. That isn't Rats and Stormcast. So, yeah. That is that. That's what we have to look forward to pretty much till then.
Cool.
Alright then. Anything else you want to add before we close up?
I think that's it.
Alright then. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end of this podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Later, everyone.